Here's to being in your 20s and not knowing what you're doing or where you're going, where we know everything and nothing at the same time, where we aren't fully grown, but we are no longer kids. Today, we take time to acknowledge the 20-somethings. Welcome back to the 20-somethings podcast. I'm your host, Corrupts.
And I am New Rev.
I'm not introducing you anymore. We're done. Just want to say, why the do I owe the IRS at 23 years old? I mean,
them niggas trying to get us a dime a dozen.
I feel like, damn, did I get to live life yet?
Right.
Y'all already taking my damn youth.
Right. As if they ain't got enough of our money. Oh, you owe us. It just be crazy. It's like, bro, no, you know what? I don't owe you, actually. Actually, you owe me. You know what I'm saying?
No, you owe me.
Like, you owe me. Like
what you mean? And it's crazy because I was talking to some old heads at my job, and they were like, you used to be able to, like, write off your car, write off your home, basically as a tax deduction.
Yes, you can do that with some stuff now, but
you can't do that with nothing now.
You have to one, have a business and like an LLC, and then, like, for instance, you know, let's say me, you know, okay, like, let's say this podcast, you LLC this podcast.
I was thinking.
And then, which you probably should actually do pretty soon. And then at that point, you know, equipment is a tax write-off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
you gotta work around the system.
Yeah, and like, but I like that concept because it encourages you to be an owner.
Yeah.
It encourages you to be a boss.
Yeah.
So that's an incentive to, like.
It's like, if you don't have kids,
figure it out. Yeah.
Tax time is not your come up season. Like, it's not it for you. You know, you think you're about to get all this money, you're not. You don't have no damn children.
But I was just talking to Code about that yesterday, and he had said, man, wait till you get some children, man, you gonna really get some dough. And I was like, yeah, but, like, you give it right back to the kid. He's like, that is true. And I'm just like, yeah, so I'm good.
No,
I'll
seriously.
take my little, you know, whatever I get, and then that's for me. And then if I want to be a little, you know, giving, and you know what I mean, which I will be.
Because like, it really don't balance out.
It
really don't balance out.
It's crazy.
Back for another week, man.
It's good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, man.
Like, I didn't see you yesterday and the day before.
And the day before. We're, like, really best friends in real life.
That's a fact.
I really hope that if you are not close with your sibling and it's, like, for a petty reason, that, like, you guys can reconcile, because I don't think anyone knows your experiences like your sibling. Like, you guys literally came out the same womb. Like, if that's not connecting you in any way, I don't know what is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty deep, man, when you really think about it. And it's crazy because white people will be quick to be like, my half brother or my half sister, and I'm like, what does that mean? You half love them? Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm going to half do something for you. I'm going to half be there for you. I'm going to be half past. And it's like, what is the half for? Like, you know, that's your sibling, your whole sibling. It, like, regardless if it's different daddy, you know what I'm saying, or different mom, it's like, there's still a blood aspect, you know, that you're forgetting. And then there's still the fact that you share a parent. Like, so,
white people have no problem announcing the dysfunctions, like, in their family, in their relationship. You know, like, okay.
It's like, sheesh, man. Like, some of that stuff be sounding like they need to have their own show. You know what I mean? Like,
facts.
They be ready.
You seen it, Honey Boo Boo?
What is that? Show? No, I don't know about that.
Yo, when I tell you they made dysfunction, like, lit. You like, and I know I wouldn't say watch one episode because I know my brother and he's not gonna get through an episode of Honey Boo Boo, but just for context purposes. But anyway,
right?
Can I just say how social media is killing my brain cells? Like, I feel one by one, like, they're just deteriorating. And it's so crazy because I took 1 week, 7 days off of social media, and best week of my fucking life. I mean, I was a painter. I reorganized my closet. You know, like, I was
tough.
like Superwoman. I could do it all. And that's because I wasn't on my phone.
There is studies showing that, like, the amount of time spent on a phone is inconducive, and you know what I mean, to like what you could be doing. It's like you could really be utilizing your time a lot more. You know what I mean? Like,
and like utilizing it in ways that will benefit you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You know,
but then I also, because I'm good at being objective. Like, they say that, and I could agree with that. But then I would also be like, what are you doing on your phone? Like, are you just scrolling through social media? But if you actually have, like, you know what I mean? That's what it is. That's the distraction. You're not utilizing the phone to its advantage. Like, you could be making money off of your phone. You could be trying to figure out how to, like, optimize social media. Like, you can do a lot from your phone. It doesn't have to be, have this negative, like, connotation behind it. Like, there is very much a positive factor about a portable device.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But most people are just consuming.
Facts.
It's mostly consuming, comparing.
Let's talk about that.
No, and I don't know. Like, they do say that, most young people compare their lives of others. Influencers and rappers, and that's why we have all these stupid debates, because we're looking at other people's lives. The 50-50 debate. That's from looking at rappers and influencers doing all this for their girlfriends. We would never be having that debate if we didn't see Moneybagg Yo buy Ari a Lambo. We would never see that.
Oh, is that what sparked it?
No, I don't know.
But
contrary belief. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what sparked it, but I just feel like we're having the 50-50 combo with men that work at Amazon.
Yeah, and that's crazy. It's like, can we be contextual, please?
Let's have some sense when it comes to this,
please,
guys.
Because it is ridiculously unsensible. It's like, come on, man.
And the girls are going to eat me up for this, but I'm a 50-50 type of bitch. I can't deny it. You pay for a date?
Yeah.
I'm paying for the next one.
What's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with being reciprocated and being, what's wrong with being a receiver and also reciprocating? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, nobody's, once again, going back to the roles like we spoke about last week, nobody's trying to strip the role of a man. If a man, honestly, if you're a real man, if you're not a beta male, and most men have to go through a beta male stage, because that's how you, it's a process. You don't just become an alpha male. But, whether it starts young or a little later on in the game, regardless of the fact, you understand that, you have a certain role. You have a certain presence that needs to be attended. You know what I mean?
Right.
There is, I don't want to use the word attended to, but you need to, you could say that, but there needs to be an intentional, behavior behind, your role as an actual, a real man with standards.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that, as a man, I can't, you know what I'm saying? A woman can't do something nice for me. You know what I mean? A woman can't buy me something because she just thought about me. In other words, you trying to act like I'm Dr. Manhattan, and I could, you know what I'm saying? I got this most, freaking crazy power in the world that I can, read everybody and, no need to buy me that gift. No need to do that for me. I have what I need already. It's no. It's come on, man.
Yeah, and one thing about me, I'm a trick.
I'm
a trick.
Why can't we appreciate our experiences as a human?
What do you mean by that?
The fact that we live amongst billions of other people who share commonalities with, and why can't we appreciate the relationships, you know what I'm saying, good or bad, that happen just from existing, an existential you know what I'm saying, like, plan to just, like, be in the moment with other human beings that actually are, living. Like, you know what I mean? Like, enjoy the relationships that you can while you are on Earth.
Yeah.
Make relationships. Have fun. You know what I'm saying? Embrace one another. Encourage. Love one another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep Jesus first.
Right.
But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, enjoy your human experience with other humans. Like,
but sometimes it's like other humans are shitty.
Fine.
And we're supposed to embrace all of it.
Embrace it all. Because you got to embrace the good and embrace the suck.
You know what? And that's actually a point, because the last situation I was in, even though it was shitty, it's like I went to freaking Spain. So it's like,
that actually was like killing two birds with one stone.
A win is a win.
It's like,
yeah. A win is a win.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like, well, to your point of putting God first, you know we're not doing that. We're
as a society.
Just I think in a podcast, Jada talked about this on a podcast, Jada Wada, but she was just saying how women were so like head first, you know, like nothing else matters when we like a guy, or when we're in that type of situation with a guy where we just, we think he's the best thing ever. It's like we're just so face first that we forget about ourselves, we forget about God. I think I'm just now hitting the balance at 23 of, you know, putting myself first, and, you know, obviously putting God first, but like I'm not making, just because I like you, I'm not making you my everything, you know?
Exactly.
Like I feel like I've been single for so long that I like my solitude. Like I like my peace. I like being alone. I like, you know, doing what I want when I want to do it. Yeah, when Tim said this is the peace that you cannot buy, she meant that. She meant that. I literally, and it's so important because I used to pray for this type of peace where I could just go to sleep, wake up, and just be at peace, and I'm only worrying about myself. And this is not to say a man has never brought me peace, or my situations with men haven't been peaceful. But I think there's a certain type of peace you have when you're only worried about your own self.
Facts.
You're only focused on your own self. You're not worrying about, well, did I say, did this offend this person? Did this? I am only worrying about me. I can't speak for nobody else. I can't think for nobody else. I can't talk for nobody else but myself. So yeah, it's like, it's definitely pros and cons to being single. Would you say?
Absolutely.
Do you feel like you experience more pros or cons though?
Excuse me. I feel like it's actually a really good question. I think I focus more on the cons of it now that I've been so immersed in the pros of it that I just kind of become a little desensitized to the pros, and I'm like, you know, more like in my purview, it's the cons. It's like being single. You don't have nobody when you come home from, you know, 4 days or 3 days or even 2 days or a day, whatever the case is. Like when you come home from jujitsu or, you know, some intense workout.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, shout out to Baltimore BJJ. Like, you don't have nobody there to massage your back, massage your, you know what I'm saying, your knee, or your, you know what I mean, or rub you. Like, you don't have anybody there to give you that TLC. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if anybody has ever tried, but it's, I wouldn't. Like, you can't massage your back.
You've tried? Have you tried?
No, but I've envisioned it. And, like, it's not going to, it does. It's like when you were a kid, you was trying to touch.
Yeah.
But
it's
like,
probably like sucking your own.
Yo, that's crazy.
You gotta beat that.
I mean, I'm gonna put those in the same category because that seems very impossible. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, like things like that, like you notice these cons. You notice that, oh wow, pro is, you know, I only have to cook for myself and worry about myself. But then the con is like that gets lonely.
Yeah. But I think also because you haven't been in a relationship in so long, I don't think you realize how annoying women are.
Man, that might be true. I ain't even going for it.
Like, it might be a lot for you. You're probably like, wow, like, I love her, but this bitch annoying.
I ain't going for it, maybe. I'm not like, you might be you might be very right about that, like, for real. I mean, it's not like I've been, like, I haven't mingled and, like, you know what I mean, seen annoying stuff with that, but, like, yeah, I mean, and then the older I'm getting to it, I think there's just certain things that just, like, I just rather not deal with, but then I also feel like
you start weaving it out.
Yeah, like, exactly. Like, all right,
I'm good
whatever.
off you.
Yeah, that's
you worrying about other niggas too much. You might be insecure.
Yeah, you put emphasis on if we were in a relationship, if I don't post you, that means I don't love you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Facts.
Like you're done. Like, no.
I don't know. I like a man with like little to no social media presence. I like that mystery.
I feel that.
Keep that mystery going. No, I've been dating. I've been dating more recently because I went on like a I hate men hiatus for a little bit. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm low key still on the hiatus, but I'm better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better. So I've been dating or whatever, and it's cool. Like, I like the fact that I can talk to one on Monday and then talk to the other on Thursday, and I just like the non-attachment type of vibe.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like I'm so strict to the point where I'm gonna be honest, I don't even like texting a man good morning every day because I feel like that's too permanent. I think it's just too much. It's like now we're texting good morning every day.
Yo, I'm not going front. Yo, that's funny you say that because like
it never stops after.
It there is a bit of a like, and I noticed like there was a chick that I was trying to like, and we weren't like talking. We was just friends.
Yeah.
But like I would like try to do that. I would say like because I'm trying to like set a certain like I'm trying to not get in the friend zone too hard. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to say certain things. I'm trying to send certain emojis. Like
what emojis?
I'm old, man. I'm
what's your flirting emojis? He's not old. He is.
A flirting emoji is
right before 29.
Probably the hard eyes. Like I would do the hard eyes.
You would be like, good morning, heart eyes.
Yes. Yeah, I would do that.
You're the type I would throw away.
That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. That's crazy. I don't be doing that no more, though. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, like, yo, that's what I'm saying. Then she responds back just, good morning. You like, or morning.
That's
so
like, mean.
I mean, I don't mind morning versus good morning. I say morning, too. But it's like, yo, no emoji, huh? Okay, whatever. Like, all right.
I was actually just talking to a guy about this. I'm like, how do you slide in a girl's DMs? And they were like, it depends on what I'm trying to accomplish. And then I was like, okay, well, do you take a like as a curve? Like, if you send a girl a message or it's like a hard eyes or, oh, you look so cute, whatever, and she just double taps it, is that a curve? And he said, absolutely. And I said, you're damn right. Because...
Wait, what?
You know how, like, you can send a DM to a woman, right? And she can like it.
Oh,
she can double tap it.
Yeah.
But that's it.
Oh.
So I was like, do you take that as a curve? Because not that I'm curving men like that, but it's just like that gauges, I guess, how interested I am. Like, do I respond and say thanks? Do I double tap it?
Yo, that applies to text messages too, huh?
Oh, I mean, if they're not replying to your text,
but
and
if they just double heart it, or iPhone users,
if they just like it,
no, they heart it.
Oh, and don't respond?
Yeah.
It depends on the context.
I thought that was about to happen to me the other day. Yeah, last night actually. But she responded.
Oh, you thought you were gonna get curved?
I did actually.
You did get curved?
No, I didn't. I thought I was gonna get curved.
Oh.
Yeah. But I just said something nice, like, hey, you crossed my mind, just wanted to reach out and.
Oh, that's
like
nice.
That. You know what I'm saying? And
that's a little panty wetter.
She heart eyes that, and I'm sorry, she hearted it. And then I thought that I was like, damn, she probably not gonna respond.
Yeah.
But she.
Cause you're like, thanks.
Yeah, she responded, and it was a cool response, at least to me. But I just was like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Bet like keep it, try to keep it simple.
Yeah. Speaking of dating, I freaking got I don't want to say I had flowers delivered to my job, but I brought like somebody gave me flowers while I was at work. And let me just tell you, corporate America, maybe any job, them older women are nosy. They want to know your business. And they might tell you their business, so they find it like as an obligation for you to tell them.
Yes, yeah.
And it's like, Word. I'm young and turned. Why? I don't understand. Like, I had told I basically walked in with the roses or whatever, and the one older woman, she's like, but I thought you said you weren't talking to anyone.
Yo, get out Miss Sally, go ahead. Like, yo.
If you don't worry about your own situation, like, worry about your own love life.
Right.
And my whole thing, this is bitch's problems. Just because a man gives me roses, I'm talking to him.
Right.
Like, you never been courted, babes? You never been courted before? But that's older women's problem. I feel like, they be so in your business because they ain't do life right. They didn't do life right in their life. They want to be in a young. Know the tea from me. You ain't gonna know the tea from me. I'm sorry. I don't got nothing to give you. Sorry, your love life ain't go well, but that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Tell me why, and it's so, I'm piggybacking on what you said, because it's definitely true. So, I always speak to my neighbors. Like, I like my neighbors upstairs. Like, they cool, you know what I mean?
They're like an older black couple.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, black love.
We love black love.
We love black love. We support that over here.
Dr. Umar is our idol. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we don't idolize somebody.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, though. That's a strong word. I mean, we agree with, you know what I'm saying, we much love the Dr. Umar, though. But anyways, what I was getting at was like, yo, so she did that old lady thing. That it was like,
what's that old lady thing?
Well, I'm about to tell you. So I'm going in the crib, and you know, I was like, hey miss, such and such, and I ain't gonna put her name out there. And she was all like, oh, how you doing, honey, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, I'm good. She's like, you just getting off? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, okay. She's like, I thought you worked that night. And I'm like, no. But I felt like she was trying to she wanted me to engage more. Like,
she wanted to know what you did for
her. Like, nah, I actually work at blah blah blah, and that's a day. Oh, okay. Like, nah, I'm good. Like,
sugar. Sugar.
Yeah, sugar too, Miss Minnie. Yo.
No.
Nah, it was so funny. I was just kind of in my mind, and I think it's from years of playing chess that I can certain moves and then being very having social smarts, street smarts. I can see certain things a behavior where in the past maybe a few years ago I would have probably engaged in that conversation and went a little further. Now I'm like, no, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, it's all right.
Put these people on a need to know basis because. 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't say they're not rooting for you, but I just feel like it's more to be in your business rather to be insightful. And it's like, if an older woman has a shitty relationship and is going through relationship problems, why do you feel the need to tell her your business? Right. There's no reason for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, so I'm dating, but I don't know. I don't feel like I'm I don't know. I just feel like with man comes disappointment. So it's just expected. And I kind of keep it at an arm's length because I just know you will disappoint. I told a man that and he was offended. He's like, where is that in the Bible?
Yeah.
I said, man will always disappoint. He's like, are you sure you're reading that right? And that's the same nigga that disappointed the out of me.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
but you know what's funny? It's not verbatim like that.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's God is telling you not to put your faith and trust in man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And we shouldn't.
You shouldn't.
Ladies.
You feel me? You don't.
We should not do that.
Men don't do that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
we see him at Samson and Delilah.
Yeah. And it's true, but you know what the funny thing is? It works on both we both have to follow that because it's like.
Wait, can you just give a little rundown on Samson and Delilah really quickly?
Just for right, viewers? For context, yeah. Samson and Delilah is two characters in the Bible, and when I say characters, I don't mean in a folk or
not
fiction
Naruto.
way. Like, yeah, this is not like this is real. But yeah, Samson had a quality that was immense and robust, and it came from his hair, and so that was like he was a great warrior, and he had got swindled because he pretty much, let vagina take over his mind, and this woman that was actually she was in this day and age we would call her the op, but she was the ops, and she had she didn't really like him, but she was trying to get the rundown on like why he's so strong, basically trying to like destroy him, and he was so in love with her because she was mad pretty, and they slept together, and like by the second or third time he wound up telling her where he got his strength from, and he was never supposed to reveal that, and so then she cuts his hair off and then brings in the Philistines to attack him, and they freaking like it's a whole ordeal with that, but
and I think for a lot of young men, vagina is power.
That's all it is, man.
That's all it is.
Money, vagina, and drugs.
That's so true. Because a lot of men are driven by money. Like, money's like their idol. Like, I gotta go get the money. Get up and get some money. Money, money, money. And I get it. Like, you need money to survive in this life. Like, you do need that to sustain and have an effective, living situation, you would say? You need money.
I mean, you need money to have some.
You need money
to live. You need money to live. Like, you need money. Like, you have to have
But we
money.
shouldn't be idolizing money. Facts. Like, you shouldn't be putting money over God type thing. Right.
Right.
So, yeah. But I do feel like, I don't know how we got on this. Samson and Delilah.
Oh, just talking about, like, not putting our favorite trusted man.
Yeah. So, to moral of the story.
Disappointment.
Moral of the story is, I don't know, call me scarred, but I just feel like men bring disappointment. So it's like, and with having brothers and a dad, because,
Hold on. Men, when you say it in that way, I would say just humans, because this sounds easy like saying all men are bringing disappointment. Like, in the way you saying it, it's like, I know what you mean. Like, you mean like men, but like man, it's more like man will bring disappointment. Like one man and man. Like,
but I want to be biased. I feel
I'm
talking about man.
Oh goodness.
Okay, I'm just kidding. So yeah, woman and man will bring disappointment. So I don't feel like we should be putting it over our faith. I am, like I said, I feel like I'm finally at the point where like I can say, no, we're not going to hang because I have Bible study or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, and this is another thing. I feel like, we all want love and we all want relationships, but are we really ready for God to be at the center of our relationships and the things we want? Like, last episode I talked about, just us fornicating and things like that. And it's like, I want, and this is going to sound crazy to some, but I want my next relationship or situation or whatever the case is to be just so God-centered that I almost don't like want to fornicate, and that sounds crazy because it's like, you're young, It's like I don't want to I don't want to fornicate because I feel like God's not going to bless our relationship. Is that a weird way of thinking?
No, actually, I am right, pretty much neck and neck with you on that. Like I'm 6 months in. Like I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm like 6 months in.
Oh, how transparent are you?
No sex. I don't care.
Let's give it up. 6 months and no cutty.
No cutty, man.
No cutty.
And it sucks. but like, yo, the thing is, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure, like, I'm not saying, like, I got it like that. Because I don't. Like, I'm not got chicks in my phone hitting me up. I'm not even talking to nobody.
But
you know
he's
what I'm
a
saying?
good man, Savannah.
Yo, that's hilarious. But, like, I feel like there's probably one or two, like, I probably could have, like, you know what I'm saying, really went out.
Yeah, like, come over.
Yeah, like, pull up, or I'll come over there, like, really press the issue. But I'm like, yo, I don't want to do that, man. And that's not fair. And it's like, the more you are in your word and really actually trying to obey God, you really see, like, you're objectifying a woman. That's disrespectful, bro.
Yeah.
Just like if they would objectify you as a man, that's disrespectful, and it's very demeaning. And like I'm not saying we human, bro. Of course we got attractions to each other. Of course we have sex with each other. That's not the point. The point is, it's like you're lusting and you're not, like, you know that, like, your intentions are not pure. And so, like, that's been something with me lately. It's just like I've been trying to have a more correct and positive and gospel centered mind state. Or state of mind, whatever you prefer. And, like, you know what I'm saying, it's like I've thought about, like, trying to even do it, like, press with certain people. I'm like, I don't feel right. Like, it's something in me, like, telling me
because you know it's not genuine.
It's not genuine. It's not right. Like, I know I don't like her.
Yeah.
I just want to hit it. Don't mean she not pretty, but I know that I don't want to take it further than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just wish more men were honest. You would save
it would help
your
a lot of
time.
people.
You would save our time, your time. But yeah, it's like, but I feel like to communicate that to a 20-something-year-old man that, like, I don't want to fornicate, like, you know, I just want kind of a clear mind. I want to live more for God. Like, they're like, see it.
You gotta find, and that's another thing too, is like, well, then how you find a cool Christian man that actually
doesn't care.
That's not actually trying to do that. And I don't know, man. Like, I know Christian couples, man, and I'm like, man, look, that's what's good for y'all, man. Y'all lost y'all virginities to each other. You know, that was y'all first, love. And
my whole thing is, I think it's a little different when you just know that that's going to be your wife. And you know that that's going to be your husband. Man.
But, like, when you've been out in the trenches, though, if you was actually in the trenches, you don't have that, like, that's what I'm saying. Me and you would need to find, like, I know we would have to be with somebody that has been on the receiving end.
As far as what?
Like, they've been in the trenches, the datings, like, they have years. They're not virgins and just finding it. Like, they know what it is already. And so they trying to find somebody that can help them grow with God. And that's why you find another young person like you that got that same mentality that is in Christ. I feel like it will be a lot smoother. I really do.
Same. Because it's like, then we would have to do so much other things and find other ways to be intimate besides actually doing the do.
Right.
Yeah, and my whole thing is, like, people are quick to say, like, oh, you know, like I said on the last pod, like, oh, I have to test drive the car before I buy it and whatever. But I genuinely believe that if you wait to have sex with your partner, and if you wait until marriage, I genuinely think, like, that'll be the best sex ever, probably, because you did it literally under the will of God. Like, you followed the order, you took the steps. Like, I don't think, you know, you're gonna wait all this time and then God's gonna give you some trash box. Like, I just don't think that's gonna be.
Or he don't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this
stroke game ain't it.
Yeah,
like, God ain't gonna do that to you.
That nigga is.
God ain't gonna do that to you.
Nah,
he know you.
I feel that. I feel that. I do feel that.
Let's get in. I want to share. I shared this video with you earlier, but
I don't know which one that was.
We'll play it again. This was a very interesting perspective on church and so let's get into corrupt comments.
It's a system now. And systems work with or without God. So I think the institution of church is whack. I think how church is ran is whack. I think the religious system and structure is whack. I don't subscribe to it, even though I grew up in it, I benefited from it, but I learned that God is not the church. And once I realized, whoa, God ain't church, that for me, you know what I mean? I ain't from the streets, I'm from the church. So that was a huge thing as well.
It's in the Bible, though. It says you can't even find God in a man-made temple.
Why don't we read that, though? How often do you hear that sermon? No, you hear pastors make the people about the church. We got the church name, we church and the bumper sticker, the church. The church should be about the people. The church should be about the people, but the church makes the people about the church. So all churches now are a movement, but they're not about the people. They're not about serving and loving the people. But what do y'all look for when you go to a church? What do y'all look for? Like you said, everyone don't touch your soul, don't minister to your spirit.
It's not about what I look for, it's about what I feel.
Got it.
What do you think about that?
Right off the back, man. I mean, look, when you talk about some topics, it's understandable to generalize, but when you bring in my God into it, when you bring in, the Christian God into it, I can't do the generalizations. Like, you got to be more specific. Because if you are reading your Bible, and if, like he said, he grew up in a church and he benefited from it, so then how can you make such a umbrella statement that just encompasses all churches? Like they're not doing the will of God, they're not serving the people, they're not serving God, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing as a church.
You think it was more of a blanket statement?
I think it was, yes, exactly. It was definitely blanketed. It needed to be more like sectional. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, these churches, some of these churches that are not doing God's will, those are the ones that are whack. Those are the ones trying to have a business institution. An institution, like when you say the institution of church, I mean, brother, that's the ontological study of a church. I mean, it is an institution. It's a place where we gather. And we're supposed to be the embodiment of Christ. Think about Revelation, the book of Revelation. It literally says, it calls, and then in the New Testament, I'll just say that. It says that we're the bride, Jesus is the bridegroom. Okay? And who's the bride? The church. It literally says that. The church is Jesus' bride. And he's our bridegroom. That's who he's coming back for. He's coming back. And so the churches that are not doing his will, they're going to suffer. They're going to face the consequences of that. I'm not about to sit here and demonize church. Yeah. Like, you can't say that. Like, I see, I mean, and I'm the brother, like, I understand where he's coming from with it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I can't act like I don't know where, I guess, his made church hurt. We don't know his experience with her.
Exactly.
But
right.
I'll say this, right? I think at 23 years old, I think I need a church home. That's one thing I will say.
Yeah.
But also at 23 years old, I've experienced church hurt. So I know how challenging it is to find a church home with people you trust and with people that are more wanting to see you thrive rather than kind of scolding you, if that makes sense. And just to shed a little light on my experience, I started going to church when I was 18 years old. I met the pastor at a job that I was working at, Panera Bread, and he basically was like, I was taking his order, and he was like, do you have a church home? And I was like, no. And at the time, I was like heartbroken over some guy. That's just so irrelevant, but I was heartbroken, and I was like, you know what? I'm sad, I'm crying, I'm not barely going to class. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go and see what it can do for me. So, if you are from Maryland, I am traveling. I lived in Carroll Island, and I traveled to McCullough Homes to go to that church. And so that's about 40 minutes, and I went alone, and I sat in the back of the church, and he seen me, and he, grabbed my hand and brought me to the front where his family was. And I was going for, I would say, a couple of months. I was going like,
faithfully.
I was going every Sunday for a couple of months, traveling 40 minutes. And mind you, I'm 18 at the time. So, you know, this is big to me, you know, that I'm even like doing this. So, you know, and over the course of the months, there was a certain peace. Again, I talked about this earlier. This was a certain peace that I felt, and I knew that it was from God. Like, I knew that God was doing a working in my life. And one day, the pastor's wife, she did a little, now that I can remember, she didn't let me take communion. Or she was like, you shouldn't have took communion, you know, because I think at that time I wasn't saved. She was like, only people that are saved take communion, right?
So crazy. It's cringe.
So
why did I
after she said that, I went in my car and I said the prayer. I said, I know, you know, Jesus is my savior, whatever. And I was saved, right? In my mind, I was saved. I said the prayer. I just came from church. I was saved. Anyway, now let's fast forward. Probably a week later, the next Sunday, she's like, she turns to me and she's like, I don't feel like you're growing. And I was like, I kind of was taken back. And she felt like I wasn't growing because, for one, after those few months, I didn't join the church. I didn't want to be a part of the choir and the dance team and things like that. And, you know, it hurt my feelings because I'm like, what do you mean I'm not growing? Like, this church is doing so much for me. Like, I'm feeling so much better about myself. I'm learning the word. You know, I'm 18. I'm driving here 40 minutes every Sunday by myself. Like, what do you mean I'm not growing? So it took me a while after that to, for one, want to get back in a church and really, I guess, want to have a church home and a family. So I understand the church hurt to where you can generalize and say, oh, it's an institution and da-da-da-da-da. But I'm telling you, at 23, I know I need a church home. I know I need Bibles. I know I need these things to grow.
Yeah, Paul wouldn't have written 13 letters of rectification, basically, to churches if it wasn't important. We need to have a church. You don't serve each other alone. You don't serve God by being alone. You need periods of isolation with God, but like, you don't completely separate yourself from people. Like, you need the fellowship. You need to be sharing the gospel. That is the Great Commission. Like, you have to be encouraging other people to have stronger faith. Like, you need to be a testimony to others. Like, when you have a church home and a church family, you guys are an embodiment that empower each other. Doesn't matter. I got like my two brothers. We go to two different churches. That's not the point. Their church is doing they're serving for God. My church is doing ours. But we have, in the body of Christ, we have this fellowship. We have this encouragement. And when you can easily fall away. Not to mention, let's actually add this aspect. If you aren't part of a church home, you are way more susceptible to the devil's tactics. He will use any opportunity to slither in and draw you away. Oh, she don't have a church home. He don't have a church home. Come on, bring him in isolation. Guess what's gonna happen after that? Loneliness. Guess what I could get him to do? Be depressed. You know what I'm saying?
I believe it. And how Charlemagne said about the feeling. Like, right now, my church, well, I haven't committed, but the church I go to, they're trying to expand. So right now they do their service at a high school. And let me tell you, the feeling that I get just walking into that high school, I mean, I feel the presence of the Holy Spirit. Like, I cry uncontrollably in that auditorium. And it's like you forget that, okay, no, this is not the traditional church, but it's a feeling that a church home gives you. People that have a commonality.
Right.
We all share the love of God. We are all trying to serve him in the best way we know how. So to say you don't need it or it's whack, as this young man said, I wouldn't say that. I feel like a lot of young people need to be in church. We're missing a lot. If you go to these certain churches, especially in Baltimore City, you ain't seeing young people. You're not seeing 20-something-year-olds. You're seeing older women with the hats. You know, that's what you're seeing. You're not seeing the young. But I know what church did for me and what church has done for me, and I can only share that to the youth. You know, so if you don't have a church home, test some out. It might be annoying.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying, oh, this is gonna be an easy journey, or you should go to the church that your mom's been going to since '96. I'm not saying that. I'm saying find your path, find your way, and make sure that you're following your discernment, because you'll know. Yep. Your pastor come in with a whole Gucci suit. I mean, I don't know. But you'll know.
Yeah, you'll know.
You will know.
But you'll only know, Jesus said, you will know them by their fruit. If the whole congregation is dying. Yeah, that's not the church. And the best way to know if a church is for you is, I would say right now in my mind is three ways. What? For one, read your Bible. Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not saying you have to read the whole Bible, but know it enough to know when somebody is sticking to scripture, and
or if they capping.
If they capping. If it's more man than it is God, that's a sign right there.
If they're not referring to
scripture, exact. That's a sure tell sign. The second one I would say, it would be there needs to be some type of fruit. Like, are they doing outreach? You know, are they getting loved? Like, is love being shown through this church? Is love being shown to the congregation? How is the pastor? What is this like? Like, what is happening? And the third thing I would say is, there needs to be some form of I don't want to say it in this way, but like, the church should be prospering. Like, it shouldn't be a dying church.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like the church should have some money. God doesn't want us to be broke.
Yeah.
You could if you read all of Proverbs, you will figure that out, like, pretty quick. Like, you are not meant to be broke. God does not want you to be broke, which means he doesn't want his church to be broke. And he wants it to have vital. He wants it to be vital. Like, fruitful. It needs to have life. It needs to be frugal. Like, and so I would say those are three things that, if you don't see those three things, then I would say you're not in the right place. But always pray for discernment daily. Bear your cross. Ask God to, clothe you in his armor. And if you want to know what the armor of God is, you can read Ephesians 6 and ask for discernment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's definitely not easy.
It's not easy, man. It's not easy.
It's definitely, I'm not gonna lie, for me, it definitely takes me a while to say, oh, I want to be a part of this church, I want to join this church. Definitely takes me a while. But yeah, we do encourage 20-something-year-olds, the youth, even if you're not 20-something, get into the will of God, man. Get into church, man. Amen. Let's get into the 20-somethings questions. We're just rolling through, man. All right. What is one thing you wish could heal the world? I wish cuddles could heal the world. I feel like, when you think about the most dangerous men, like Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger, or I don't know, it's another dangerous man, but
Leatherface.
I think they all needed a good cuddle. Like, I don't know. Cuddles are, it's such a simple thing, but it's such it's like such a heartfelt thing. Like when you're like the little spoon or even the big spoon in the cuddle, like yo, that will heal your heart. I guarantee, like, you're good for the day. So I wish cuddles could heal the world.
So far, I wish Jesus could heal the world.
But that's a good one.
You know what I
That
mean?
was just a given.
Truth be told, he is the one that can do it, his
Yeah.
word, but everybody's not going to accept him. So guess what? We're going to have brokenness.
Yeah, we're gonna have murders.
I wish the Bible could heal the world. We're gonna have murders. Because that's the flawed nature of, of us inheriting sin.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So you wish.
I also wish outside of that.
Yeah.
I wish mushrooms could save the world. Mushrooms, man. If you don't know about mushrooms, do your research, man. Powerful, very powerful, and look, utilize them properly. A lot of y'all get a headache and want to take aspirin, and y'all want to go to Bayer, who's the company that like produces most of this chemicalized medicine. Like, and you'll take that, but somebody starts talking about using something holistically, that like God made for you, not to abuse, but to use. You know what I mean, for your own benefit. It will help you tremendously. And like, I'm not saying like a mushroom will help heal a headache, but like, it can help with a lot. Like, I believe that, like, if you put a kid on lion's mane, like, from a good age, I would say probably 5. Maybe.
Is lion's mane a type of mushroom?
It is a type of mushroom. It's not a psilocybin, and I condone that too. But I'm saying, like, let's just talk about lion's mane real quick. Like, lion's mane helps with memory and nerve support. Like, if you did that for a kid, I feel like that would help with a lot of kids who have, like, maybe multiple sclerosis. You know what I'm saying? People probably have autism. Like, it's possible that stuff can really heal, not just, like, I believe cure, not just treat it. Like, depending on what you do. Blueberries has been said to help with autism and dementia. Like God gave us these things, man, but we look to this man-made, these processed stuff.
Yeah, because I'm quick to pop and to leave.
That's what I'm saying. And, like, I'm not, like, you're not, like, you're just like the majority.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but, like, you can learn to do better and want better. And, like, we're just programmed to not think that way. But, like, I wish what I've learned about mushrooms, both, the new term I just learned was functional mushrooms. I don't know if I really like that a lot. Because I feel like if you microdose psilocybins, you can function. But, like, between the psilocybins and non-psilocybins, there are very, like, aware medicinal, like, benefits from that. And I microdose. Like, look into microdosing. Like look into microdosing and look into, like, you know what I'm saying? Also, like, with the microdosing, the psilocybins, like using the function of the non-psilocybins to couple that, and like eating better, dieting, like working out, like these are things that like are free, like in a sense. Like this costs you nothing really to worry about your health. Like not saying that not in that way, because it does, like to an extent, but like it's not a like for the
Some
price of
things are
peace.
simple,
Like for the peace that you're gonna get, invest in that. Like why would you not want that? So that's all I would say. I wish, like, Jesus could be the could be the end all be all for everyone. Like I wish everyone would come to Christ. I feel like the whole world would be healed.
No more killings, mass shootings.
None of that.
Rapes.
None of that. I don't see how that's even possible if you really know Jesus.
It's like do you ever think like Jesus is just looking like, yo, this like what happened? Like, he's just looking down, like, what transpired?
He knew it was going to happen.
He just knew that it was going to, like, be this bad, this horrible.
It's about to get worse.
No, it is about to get worse. And if you're watching this, COVID's going to come back. You heard it from me first. So I don't want you to go and say you heard it from FDC or anybody else. On this podcast, the 20-somethings podcast, COVID is making a comeback, okay?
What's the FDC?
Federal, we'll have to.
Is it
FDC? Oh wait, wait, what is FDC?
I don't know. That's a new one. We just thought we might.
And I just want everyone to admit. I want everyone. Oh, that's a federal detention center.
Nah, they definitely not there.
No.
Yeah.
CDC.
Yeah.
But I
Center
just
for
want
Disease
everyone,
Control.
like, when are people, especially the older people, when are they gonna admit that you got that COVID shot for no reason, and then you got the after COVID shot for no reason? When are we gonna just take that L? When are we gonna say, you know what? I listened to the news. I don't know what it did for me. I fucked up. When are we gonna admit it?
When are we gonna admit it? I tell you what. Shout out to Gary Knoll and the folks at Invite Health. People that are pushing holistic health and not for profit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like actual like research and sourcing great ingredients for certain things like Camu powder, you know, which is 10 times stronger than than an orange. You know what I'm saying? Like things like that, goji berries. Like shout out to like the companies that are really helping out for the cause. You know what I'm saying? Like they are really for it. So
yeah. And I just want to say before we close out, thank you guys. I guess honestly, I get a lot of texts and DMs just telling me to keep going with this pod. And you guys don't realize like how much a person can be in their head and how those little encouraging words really help, you know? Because when you think about it, it's like I did start this in my dining room, you know? I don't have a co-host, you know? So it means a lot to me. Let me just put it like that. It means a lot. And thank you guys for the people who always support and they always post my episode on their Instagram and they always watch. You know, we're only gonna keep getting better. You know, you can't deny greatness. And you know, we got God on our side. So we cannot lose. We cannot. Okay, let's close it out, man. All right, as the saying goes, it's something about your 20-somethings that
make you want to pursue God. I'll say that.
And that was good for this episode.
Yeah. It's something about your 20s that make you want to pursue God.
Mine is a little cliche, but it's just in the mood I'm in right now. It's something about your 20-somethings that makes you want to have fun with this, man. We can't take it when we go, so as always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next Wednesday.